Hey, stop. Are you on a tech team? Why don't you check out this video for 5 tips that'll make your being a front of house person a little easier. Hey everyone, John here from Portable Church. Now, I ask if you're a front of house person because I think there's a lot of things that go into being a really good front of house person to make the experience better on that Sunday morning, Thursday night, wherever your service or event is going on. Take it from me, I've been in a lot of front of house scenarios as the light guy, the audio guy, yes, and even the media guy. And all of those areas are critical to making sure that your church service goes off the way you need it to. In fact, I have those 5 tips that I mentioned that we're going to go through to help make your front of house experience a better experience. Let's get started. Number 1, show up prepared. All right, so I know this sounds basic, and honestly, it is. Just being prepared has saved me loads of problems, and honestly, not being prepared has caused just as many. For example, when I'm running audio, it's important that I know the song order and who's leading the songs, because if I don't, I could mute the wrong microphone and then the person who's singing isn't heard. What if I'm the lighting person and I don't know the transitions? All of a sudden, the person coming out to do announcements is in a video queue where the whole room's black. And yes, we all know what happens when the media person isn't paying attention. Like I said, it's really in your best interest to read through what the Sunday service is going to look like, whether it be on Planning Center, CCB, or whatever your church really uses. And you know what? If you don't know what they're using, ask. That's totally fine. In matter of fact, I used to be a front of house director, and I would much rather someone ask me to make sure they're doing the right thing than guess and it goes wrong. Everyone will thank you later for it. Number 2, cable management. All right, so I know this is really more for the lighting and the sound people, but we're still going to go over it because I think it's a critical part of a Sunday experience. Let's say you have a ton of lights on stage, and it's more than you could possibly think could have a fit. It's really important to make sure those cords are flat and secured down on the stage so no one trips or falls or creates a hazard while people are leaving on the stage. It's also important to be aware of your exits and where people are standing for that reason. While it's easy to go, John, why can't they just pay attention to what's on stage? I don't think that matters. I think it's still on you. Because at the end of the day, you're the person who's obstructing the exit or the entrance to the stage. Now, I'm saying this from experience. I have been the reason why someone has tripped and fallen on stage because of a poorly secured cord. In fact, a pastor one time tripped over a cord I didn't secure down, and the contract guitar player's guitar fell over, and it busted the tuning peg right off the guitar, which was some damage to that guitar that affected the rest of the service. My bad. Sorry about that still, by the way. Audio, you're not off the hook either. Think about where people are going to be standing. Are they standing at the front of the stage with microphones? Is there going to be a drum cage that's going to have tons of mics all over it to actually make sure you hear every part of the drum? If that's the case, make sure you know where your cords are going to be. Make sure you know how they're going to be secured down so that way there's not cords all over the stage while people are trying to do their thing. Remember, we're creating an experience on Sunday and we're part of a larger team than just the front of house, and it's important that we all work together. Number 3, have backups ready. Okay, so musicians have all kinds of gear to help them perform on a Sunday morning. For example, this is my Strandberg guitar. It has some really cool pickups here that actually take a 9-volt battery to make the magnets work. Just like a wireless microphone or an in-ear pack, having extra batteries for guitars like 9 volts, AAA and AA's can save you in a moment where a battery might die. I know we're all hoping that batteries are charged if they're rechargeable and they're swapped out before service, but that might not always be the case. Having those extra batteries can be a game changer between services or between songs even to help make sure the players are performing. And if you really want to go above and beyond as an audio guy, have extra guitar and bass strings lying around because you never know when one's going to snap on one of those solos. All right, and when all else fails and when everything stops working, you know you have your trusty wired SM58. If it has a dent in it, that's probably best because you know what? Dents build character. Dents show it still works. It is apocalypse ready. It is Sunday service ready. It's week-long festival ready. This is dependable. Number 4, know where people are watching from. Know where people are watching from? I'm in the same room. What does that mean? Okay. What I mean by that is some front of house consoles and front of house areas are way further back than where people are actually watching from, ideally. And you know what? If you're in a 3,000 person auditorium or a 200 person auditorium, the mix is going to sound very different from the back of the auditorium versus the middle of the auditorium or gathering space. It's in your best interest during a sound check or a rehearsal, go stand where people are going to be standing on a Sunday or at your event and hear how the mix sounds from there. You'd be amazed at what can change from back to middle of the room. And if you're running the lights, pay attention to where your moving lights are moving and where your spotlights are going to be placed. The last thing you want is people excited watching their event and then all of a sudden it's just blinding light right in their face. It's just impossible to see through. As someone who's had that happen to them and someone who's done that to someone, not a fun time. Number 5, be kind. All right, so simple answer, heartwarming, fun. I know it's what you expected and you're right. You know what? The reality is we're one big team. From the front of house, back of the room people, to the stage people, the worship band, the people, the speaking. All of us are here to create an experience that is to help people meet God where they're at. And we have to work together and we have to show grace to one another. All right, we've done it. 5 tips from Portable Church to make you a better front of house person. Now, if you have any questions from those, drop it in a comment below. We'll happily answer it there, or email us at info@portablechurch.com. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the places. Our social media links are in the description below. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.